Welcome back to the channel. This week I'm going to be doing the rear end differential fluid change. If you haven't checked my last video where I did the ZL1 add-ons, it was the mag pads with the mag puck. I use those to assist in the lifting of the 5th gen. So check that out if you haven't yet. But what I already did was I lifted the car up, and now I'm gonna get to the rear end because it's been screaming at me. So what I have here is some AC Delco Dextron LS oil gear, 75 weight by 90. That's what they recommend. I also have my catch pan down here, and I've simply lifted the car up on some jacks. It's not too much at an angle, so hopefully the angle won't be too bad for getting all the fluid out. So let me go ahead and get a couple more things squared away here, and I'll take you guys underneath and show you exactly what to do. One more thing real quick. If you guys all don't know about the service bulletin, that was kind of some preliminary information that was put out a while back. If you got a 5th gen, and I think the years, yeah, it's 2012 to 2013, so that's it. So you could still have a 5th gen and not have this issue, but mine is screaming at me. It's got just over 40,000 miles on it. So once I started hearing this, looked into the issue and found this service bulletin. So information that gives you a breakdown of how to change it, when to change it if you start hearing the noise, specifically for 2012, 2013s, and my CRT is a 2013. So I'm gonna get that taken care of, and the service bulletin's really easy, guys. But it breaks it down, the condition, the concerns, obviously the model years, recommendations and instructions, steps, and then it tells you what recommended oil to use, 75 weight 90 LS gear oil, which is what I have. And then it has you follow these steps. And what it also does is that asks that you change it out once again after you do that. But I might not do that. I might change it now and see if the problem goes away. I'll follow those steps. And if it does go away, I'm just gonna leave it for now until maybe it kind of comes up again. So let me know in you guys' comments if you guys have done this and it came back. If you didn't follow those steps, I'd love to hear what you guys have. But other than that, let's get right to it. All right, real quick, ladies and gentlemen, I broke out my GoPro because it might get messy down in here. So I'd rather mess up a GoPro than a mirrorless camera. So real quick before we get started though, I want to show you guys with this drain pan. It's pretty simple to work. Nothing crazy here. It's not rocket science, but when you do buy it, it comes with this cap here, obviously, that it uses to drain the fluid into, and there's this breather hole. Make sure you open this, okay, when you fill it or when you're draining it, because it wants to breathe. Much like anything else that breathes when you pour, it helps the flow more. So really simple, not much else to it. Make sure your other cap here is tight so nothing comes out if it gets too full, but there's only a couple quarts in here, so I'm not worried about that. So once that's done, go ahead and slide it up under your rear diff here, and I'm gonna move around here so I can show you guys real quick. Hopefully the sound on here is good enough, but if I shine my flashlight right up in here, sorry, so here's the rear diff. Now see that plug right there? See if I can zone on it with my flashlight here. All right, that guy right there is your drain, okay? And then right up top, right up there, right where that light is shining onto it, it's your fill, okay? And it looks like it's just a 3/8 ratchet to take those off. Now make sure that you loosen the upper one first so you get some air in, much like the oil container, same concept. You open the air, that way this drain valve flows and it gets everything out better, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen this up. Here are the plugs, ladies and gentlemen. Left one is the fill plug, right is the drain. Now I don't know if you can see this very well. It might not be going in, but it looks like there's some assembly lube or some goop here on top. Probably nothing crazy, that's I'm sure standard, but if you can see right on top there, just little specks, little flakes if you will of metal. Nothing crazy. From this one here I can feel a couple more flakes, and just getting off some of that lube or gear oil, whatever it is. Yeah, there's nothing nothing too much on there. So pretty common, I would think. Let me know what you guys think. I think metal shavings like that are pretty common for you know, slight wear on especially new gear parts. Anyway, other than that, I'm going to start filling this back up. Once it drains, plug it, clean these caps off, fill it back up with, I think it's roughly 2.4 quarts or so. I'll have to look at it for you guys, and then I'll get it good to go. I'll go ahead and slide my pan out the way and cap this bottom one. Caps are all cleaned up, looking nice. So let's go ahead and cap this drain plug, if I can get to it without, yeah, it's a little awkward under here. All right, gotta switch hands. All right, drain plug is back in. I do believe the service manual wants you to tighten these down to 24 foot-pounds. And what was interesting on the side note of all this, the fill capacity for the 2013, or at least for a Camaro, it's probably more specific to my LSA or just my year, but I read somewhere that someone said 1.6 quarts, and I looked in the service manual and it says 2.1 for the LSA rear diff. So I'm gonna go with 2.1, or sitting right around 2. I have 3 quarts with me. Looks like I have a little bit left over I can use just in case, and I'll go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my pump tube to top of my quarts and pump away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am done. Sorry it was you didn't get to see much action, but it was kind of a two-hand thing and I really can't hold the camera. Thought about setting the GoPro up, but it's not too hard. It's not rocket science to fill up using this pump. So what I did realize was, when I was using this pump here, you know, it can only get so far down in. So this is what I was seeing, and I put a little bit more in here, but if you guys can look at the fill level. So right now it's sitting just under 4 quarts, or sorry, ounces, and that was pretty consistent. I mean, it was about 2 ounces left in each bottle when I was trying to fill it, obviously, because you have the bottle, you know, gravity sinks in, you know, and you're pumping from the top, it only goes so far down in there. So what I did, I just did the math, right? 32 ounces in each quart, and if I was left with 2 ounces here, which equaled 4 ounces here, I basically did an extra 4 ounces off the 2.1. I went with the 2.1 quarts and did the math off the 4 or 5 ounces that was left in the quarts, and just put the rest from my 3rd quart I had. So it was good that I had 3 quarts. So if you're doing this, I recommend getting 3, because if you got to use 2.1, you can't get all of it in there, especially if you're doing it on the garage floor like I am. So what you want to do is use the rest, and there's going to be a little bit of, there's probably maybe an ounce or so maybe that is left in the tube. So I just gave it 1 extra pump. You know, it's not perfect, but it'll work. Is it enough? Yes. So I got my plugs back on there, and I'm ready to drop her back down, and then follow the procedures for the service bulletin. Now, what I'm gonna do is, if I can't find an empty parking lot today to do my circles and figure eights in, I'm gonna do that probably during the week sometime. So I might have to finish up this video at a later date. But that's pretty much it for the rear diff service bulletin. Thanks to ZL1 add-ons for the extra assist in the lifting of the car. And yeah, if you guys have any comments for me, drop it in the comments below, and subscribe if you haven't. Alright guys, I am back from doing my procedures with the figure eights and the circles. I apologize I was not able to let you guys see that because it's Saturday, it's a busy day. The park I went to had a bunch of people parked out there, and I was probably getting looked at, and everybody was about to call the cops on me because I probably looked really special doing these circles as I was. So I know people were looking at me, so I just did it real fast within the 5 to 10 that it recommended miles an hour, and went on the highway for a little bit, and then I came back. So I don't know what you guys think. Should I change it out again? I think it's gonna be good to go. I might do it again based off the recommendations on the service bulletin, but I also might just leave it. So if I hear the noise again, I'll probably repeat these steps all over again. But if not, I might just leave it because it seems pretty simple. Hopefully it fixes the issue and it's not screaming at me anymore. Other than that, that wraps up this video. I appreciate you guys following me and subscribing. If you haven't been a subscriber yet, go ahead and hit that. Follow along on my videos. And I don't think there's anything else to show you guys right now. Oh, one thing. I got one thing left. Here you go. Bam. It came in. She gone, baby. CRT's gonna be gone. That's the nickname of the cam. She gone. TSB custom grind. So that's coming up. Stay tuned. Check you guys on the flip side.